I think there's an information overload happening. So, consumers, not just consumers, I'll say human beings are constantly being marketed to. And it's even got worse with when we even started doing retargeting. When we started doing retargeting ads, yeah. So, what the average consumer or what the average person does is now they need a reason to trust your product. They need a reason to trust your brand. So if you're advertising to them, the first thing they do is, they do a bit of research. With Google Ads, I would say that people do sign up from, Google Ads, at least ad conversion rates show that. But what it doesn't show is that sometimes those people have gone on to have like mini research or different peer validation on their own end, and then when they now see your ad again, that shows them, maybe that when your ad meets them where they're at the right spot, basically, then they download, then they sign up.
Welcome to the Colorteam Podcast, the space where we explore creativity, strategy, and the people who bring bold ideas to life. I'm your host, Archie, and today's episode is a real treat. Joining me in the power is the powerhouse in the world of marketing, Esohe. Welcome, Esohe.
Hi, thanks for having
She is
me.
a seasoned marketing, of course, she's a seasoned marketing executive, brand strategist, and creative lead with an impressive track record of crafting and leading integrated marketing campaigns that don't just look good, but also deliver great results. From transforming data into strategy and aligning brands that market trends across industries like retail, finance, hospitality, manufacturing, and tech, SOA brings a rare blend of analytical thinking, creative flair, and executional excellence. She's passionate about turning big ideas into high impact campaigns. And today we get to dive into her world, the work, the mindset, and the magic behind it all. So, welcome to the podcast, Esoe. How are you doing today?
Very fine, thank you. How are you doing?
I'm very well. I'm very well. Okay, so if we dive right in, what
Okay.
would you say is the biggest challenge we are having now in the market with AI, and just convincing the audience about our product?
I think there's an information overload happening. So, consumers, not just consumers, I'll say human beings are constantly being marketed to. And it's even got worse with when we even started doing retargeting, when we started doing retargeting ads, yeah. And I think I was explaining this to a client some time back, when they were insisting on, let's retarget people that have come. And I was like, okay, but imagine you visit a store and then you don't like, you see, maybe you're not ready to make the purchase yet, and your people are following you up and now again, trying to get you to come back to the store. It gets tiring. Really, people just have like they'll develop blinders basically as regards certain things, and I think that's something that's happened in today's day and age. There's just so much information we are consuming at the same time. Every little person or every person has like a smartphone they are using. They're getting information, they're getting news, they're getting whatever it is they used to make up their entire day and possibly their entire life. So as marketers, we need to like find a way to be able to like differentiate from that kind of noise. It's a lot of noise out there, and there's a need to break through or break beyond that noise to be able to reach your ideal customer.
I agree with you because there's different facets of our lives, our personal lives, our work, everything, and we need to go to the same place, our smartphones, to get the information. And in doing that, we are bombarded with all these ads, and I mean along the way. But I mean, so the next question I would say is, how has the rise of misinformation and over marketing shaped the consumer psychology?
Um, I would say that especially because what I just mentioned, people are being marketed to every single time. and people just have just developed these blinders. So what the average consumer or what the average person does is now they have to, they have to, they need a reason to trust your product. They need a reason to trust your brand. So if you're advertising to them, the first thing they do is, they do a bit of research. They do a bit of, oh, let me ask someone, let me check the comment section, let me check the Google reviews and things like that. And I think this also led to the breadth of influencer marketing, where we wanted like communities to like be able to like influence certain buying certain products and things like that. But even at that, it's been completely oversaturated. Everyone is a creator these days. You don't know who genuinely speaks about the products. You don't know who is being paid. I mean, of course you would know, but at the same time, no, it doesn't seem genuine again. So you, as an average consumer, you have to like, put your blinders on. You have to do your own independent research. You have to be able to convince your audience, and I'm talking as a brand now, you have to be able to convince your audience that they should trust you. They should believe that when you say, oh, this product does this, this is what it does. This product does not do this, this is what it does. Instead, you're just going to get lost in the noise.
As a consumer yourself, right?
Mhm.
Let's step back a bit so that we can actually speak from a place of experience, right? So you want to get a product, right? And on the market, there are several competitors, right, that have also very competitive prices, right?
Mhm.
One brand is being marketed to you through influencers. Another brand is just straight up ads. There are different frontiers that they come at you with, right, to present the different products. Which of those different approaches would you pay more attention to?
Um, as a consumer, not as a marketer, influencer
Exactly.
marketing. Influencer marketing. And I'm saying this because influencers are different. What influencers used to be isn't what it is right now. Let me admit. At that point in time, influencers were, I'll say influencers. They were people that genuinely trusted their opinion about certain products. If they tell you, oh, I used this and it did this for me, you are going to believe that. I mean, not now that everything is like completely oversaturated and everybody is being sold to. So, but back in the days, it's easier to see someone, a human being, use a product you would want to use and then give their recommendation about it. And that's why, things like Google reviews are still very relevant to today. That's why things like, checking the comment section for, people's reaction or people's feedback as regards a certain product is very relevant today. There's just the peer-to-peer validation that people always need to do, especially because, in today's day and age, there's a lot of things you are being marketed to. How do you tell the difference? How do you make a purchasing decision without feeling like you've been ripped off? How do you make that decision without feeling like, oh, this if this doesn't work for me, I still want to feel okay about this. How do I trust this brand? Influencer marketing. And I'm saying that because running ads are very in the wild. Nobody is guiding you. So they're exceptional ads, don't get me wrong, of course. But if you place the return on investment from ads, and that's like digital marketing ads and then influencer marketing, it is completely different. Again, not influencer marketing as to what it is right now, but what
Before,
influencer
before,
marketing.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm saying right now because you rarely find again there are exceptional ones, but you rarely find influencers that can guarantee sign-ups, especially if it's a digital product. You rarely find influencers that can guarantee sales. Everybody will say, "Oh, awareness. I will advertise your products and you'll be visible to about maybe 1.2 million people, 1.2 million of my followers and things like that. Hopefully in the conversion funnel, a couple of them would eventually go on to make purchasing decisions and maybe even refer and things like that. But as of right now, and I'm saying this because I'm currently engaging with like multiple influencers to help, push certain products, none of them can exceptionally guarantee signups. They cannot say if I advertise for you, I'm going to put my name on this, you're going to get about 1 million signups.
Mm.
So,
You
you
can't
know,
guarantee that right now.
yeah,
Mm.
yeah. But
Mm.
with Google Ads, I would say that people do sign up from, Google Ads, at least ad conversion rates show that. But what it doesn't show is that sometimes those people have gone on to have like mini research or different peer validation on their own end. And then when they now see your ad again, that shows them, maybe that when your ad meets them where they're at the right spot, basically, then they download, then they sign up. And so Google Ads, some like great return on advertising spend. I also want to say that there's a psychological, what's the word? I think it's called epistemic vigilance, where the average consumer has this heightened sense to research, to make sure
Mm.
that they're not, that is not a scam, that they can trust this.
Yeah,
And
yeah, 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 yeah.
yeah, so there's just we're really living in interesting times. There's just this whole new wave of,
Indeed.
influencers, sorry, of consumers and how they want to be marketed to, basically.
You've mentioned a lot about peer-to-peer conversations that
Mm.
happen and also help these users to arrive at decisions, right? Because the influencers might say so many things, I mean, all the good things about a certain product. But still, it's what my mother tells me, or what my sister tells me, or my best friend tells me that I probably also still try to make my decision based off on.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a way that, because that's also one of the key players in the skepticism, right? So is there a way that we as marketers can also influence that conversation, or is it out of reach?
Um, no, it's definitely not out of reach. But I want to say that people, firstly, there are different demographics, and as marketers, we usually do this like audience persona when we are trying to like come up with this strategy and things like that, and we fail to cater to all these like secondary touch points, which are the
Mm.
grandma that is maybe a like 60 years old, which is the sister that is maybe like 18 years old, and then maybe we are just hyper focused on just the our direct audience. Yeah, and we are forgetting that, oh, these people, they are possibly influenced by this and by that. So we're just thinking about psychological, not psychological, but like we're thinking about, for instance, if I want to market a beard, let's say a beard oil for you, right? I'm thinking about you. I'm thinking about, oh, you probably don't have beards, or you want beards, oh, you want to look good and things like that. But secondary triggers are maybe you have a girlfriend that, you know,
Doesn't
maybe
like me to
likes
have
beards.
beards.
Yeah. So maybe like
Mm.
I have a girlfriend that likes beards. Maybe you want to look responsible to work. Maybe you feel like if your beards are a bit more even, you look a bit responsible. Who are you taking advice from? Do you have, of
Mm.
course, you have like bros. So you don't want to be the only one in your friend group
In
that
your
doesn't
clique.
have lots
Yeah,
of
yeah.
beards and things like that. So
Mm.
those are other factors that should also be catered to. So imagine I am coming to you from external influence instead of internal influence. For instance, now I'm coming to you from, oh, your other friends have beards. You shouldn't be the only one left out. There's that. I'm coming to you from, oh, your girlfriend likes men with beards. You shouldn't, let her go. So there's that kind of influence too.
Mm.
So
I see
yeah.
what you did. Okay, okay.
So I think,
Makes sense,
yeah,
makes
it's
sense.
definitely important to cater to every other factor that can help influence purchasing decision for your consumer or your typical audience persona. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I agree with you. There's several layers that are involved in the decision process, right? When you want to actually, I mean, research is like the very, very first, level. But I think as marketers, it's also important that we factor in the several levels and then we take that into consideration when we are, putting together the campaigns that we want to use to convert these customers.
I even want to say that I genuinely speaking, knowing what I know right now, especially when people say, "Oh, we are living in a fast-paced world," I'm not sure companies would be very have that patience to want to like do proper integrated research, and want to like reach out through different touch points. And I'm saying this because, especially because people want marketing to be magical. They expect that, once you put something out, gets you something immediately. So there's that rush to, okay, let me just feed the audience I'm trying to feed. So what's the shortcut? The shortcut is to run ads to these people. The shortcut is to retarget these people. The shortcut is to speak to, the influencers that this person is listening to and things like that. And we are forgetting, every other factor around that particular person you are trying to reach. Is it a bit more expensive? Does it require maybe a bit more integrated marketing strategy and plans? Yes, but this is what differentiates the brands that last and the brands that just have like fleeting viral moments.
Spot on. You know, as you were speaking, I was thinking about one, the speed at which we are moving now in the AI world that we live in. But two, the pro side of hyper personalization, right? How we can personalize each product, to each person. So in this in the theme of this conversation, when we're talking about the cynicism and the skepticism of customers, how do we as marketers go the extra mile? I know you mentioned about companies not being patient enough to to zoom in on each customer, but how can we, using AI, personalize as much as we can, you know the experience that we want each consumer to see when they're trying to make a purchasing decision.
Um, so firstly, kudos to AI because now we can have things done at a much more faster and larger scale. So for instance, there's a customer you're trying to reach. Of course, now there are different tools you can use to get maybe like in-depth information. I hope I'm not going to be sued for data privacy reasons, but yeah, but so there are tools we can use to get like in-depth information about a particular customer, the kind
Mm.
of website they visit, the kind of things they do, and and I would even not don't even let me go too far. I would say things like as much
Yeah.
like they track your digital I'll say digital movement. I've forgotten the word, sorry. I'll say your digital
Footprint.
prints. Yeah, thank you.
Footprint.
So yeah, so things like Google and other like platform, they track your digital footprint. So there's a way to know all the kind of content you are consuming and how to like push those kind of content to you, but in a way that makes you feel like in a way that the product is integrated into it and makes you want to be affiliated with it or just have like some bit of like brand affinity where you want to like purchase the product. So I think
Mm.
with AI there's also that's specialized or you can focus on at least specific people and maybe highlight factors or um I'll say factors, yeah, or qualities that reflects the kind of audience you're trying to reach. And then you
Mm.
create for that kind. So because AI is really just productivity on speed.
On steroids. Yeah,
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 I'll
yeah,
just
yeah.
I think there is about yeah. So
Sorry,
yeah.
sorry. Just. Mhm,
So there's that
mhm.
part, and then you just like keep churning out. Oh, this particular type of audience likes this particular type of thing. So maybe we're reaching them on different touch points, maybe through email marketing, through this channel, maybe offline channel or digital channels, or maybe even specific social media channels. For instance, now we have it's very interesting because we have there's a split, and I'm saying there's a split because we did a research recently. So we were trying to see especially with Gen Zs and millennials, the kind of social media platforms they use more frequently these days. And I thought it was very interesting because we had like people thinking, oh, Snapchat was in, and then we had some people that were just like abhorrent, like, no, Snapchat is No, that kind of thing. So yeah, I think. Wait. What do you think? Do you Snapchat?
I use Snapchat, but like not so frequently. But yeah, I use Snapchat from time to time.
Okay, so
You use
well,
Snapchat?
yeah. Genuinely, I'm a marketing person, so there
So
shouldn't
you
be
use
any social
everything, right?
media. Yes, yes.
Right, right.
Or I'm
Exactly.
not really a Snapchat person.
Okay,
So
okay,
weirdly
okay.
enough, I don't. I'm not there, but I'm on it. Anyways,
Okay, okay.
yeah, but so well, like I was saying, so that just helps with the hyper personalization where you help to like where it helps to like track users at different touch points at different points in time, and yeah, AI just helps us do that like on a whole different level, like and at speed and at scale, and yeah.
If I jump right back into the conversation, right, about hyper personalization, is I'm just curious about what the customer, who is about to purchase the product, like because you mentioned about the digital footprint, right? So what are we looking out for exactly, right, in the data that we provide, to target these customers? Is there a specific thing that we're looking out for, or is it based on the campaign that we're trying to put out as well?
Um, it is really. I think it is always about the customers because they are the ones that help with revenue. They are the ones that help with the bottom line, growing the bottom line of the company. And I say this because especially for certain type of users, there's been a lot of no sorry, I'm saying users not because I'm in the financial space.
I
But
can
yeah,
imagine. Yeah, yeah,
type
yeah.
of consumers, there's been a lot of like data privacy concerns. So you don't want to look like you know all their information. You just want to look like you know their goals and aspirations. You know what they're trying to achieve or aspire to. And so that's where you reach them. You reach them in a, oh, I'm trying to help you to achieve this. I'm trying to help you to get to this next level of your life. Not, oh, I know that you went to the store to go and get uh something 3 days ago. And I think that's what's really made retargeting. Is it retargeting? Should I say retargeting or maybe like pixels? That's what really made things like that fall off because people do not want to know that, you're just, I mean, it is interesting to know, but at the same time, there's been a lot of data privacy concerns where it's looking like, oh, people do not have privacy again. That's why, there was just this entire period where we are learning that, oh, people are covering, Apple is listening to you, you say something on your phone, and before you know it, you say something to
Yeah,
your randomly, and before you know it, boom, 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 you're already
yeah.
seeing
Seeing
it on
the ads.
your
Yeah,
so
yeah, 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 yeah.
yeah.
Crazy.
So he just that things like that really just like builds up skepticism in people and it makes them have and I keep saying it's like blinders as regards marketing because they're like, oh, you're trying to market to me. I don't trust your product. You have listened in on my conversation. I don't I don't
Mm.
trust you. I don't know what it is you're doing.
Yeah,
Do you
yeah,
understand that kind
yeah,
of
yeah.
thing? So while it comes in very timely, especially because if I'm maybe googling baby stuff rather and I see maybe baby items on Instagram while I'm scrolling through, will I pause to like look at it? Yes. But over time I have realized that, I've also built up my own blinders. So I want to be able to purchase when I want to purchase. I don't want to be sold to. I don't want to feel like you've just breached my privacy. I don't want to feel like, oh, you're listening in on my conversation. I want to know that I'm making independent decisions, even if I am not. We are influenced heavily by marketing and we have no idea. So I will look at this
Mm.
headset you're putting on, influenced
Right.
heavily by marketing, and we have zero idea about how
That it's happening. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah. So, but being in the face of consumers and making them feel like, they're not safe in the digital world, especially since that's how we're trying to like reach them, is a huge cause of concern. And so, like I said, the better way is to reach people through, what their aspirations are and, what their goals are and trying to get them to the next level.
Mm. Let's reverse the conversation a little bit. Let's think now from the consumer's perspective. Uh, They are skeptical, right? They're cynical about the marketing. They have their blinders on, right? How can we reassure them, with our marketing that we are not trying to swindle them of their money or anything? How can we reassure them that we actually have their best interest at heart?
Um, I think transparency, and
Mm,
I want to say radical transparency, but maybe not so radical because that's scary to some people.
mm,
I found that, so for some, there was this company I was working with, and they were trying to just not like every time we reached out to like customers, they were like, oh, this other person is expensive. Sorry, this person is expensive. Like our product was expensive compared to the alternative in the market, and it just got extremely tiring, especially because people are very, is money, so it just got tiring, especially for the salespeople to continually try to convince the customers that, oh, we're expensive for a good reason. And really, we just like put out like a blog post on, we're expensive and this is why it is good for you. And we wrote down every single thing, every reason why it is good for you. Was it a bit, I mean, it took a lot of convincing to try and, have that kind of like placement, yeah, to tell people, oh, we are expensive. Yes, we know we're expensive, but this is why it is good.
transparency, yeah.
Yeah, but this is why it is good for you. And honestly, that particular blog post saw like the clicks were astronomical, especially because it was a product people were really, really, really looking out for. But at the same time, they were like, why should I buy an expensive alternative when I can get a really, really decent alternative? And then so there was also the concern as regards there was a concern as regards um should I say ethical should I say just ethical what's the word now? Just how the product is being made, basically. So the way the product is being made is completely different from the way, I don't want to say, the other people are using chemicals or we were using natural products. But yeah,
Oh, okay, 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 okay,
yeah,
okay. I get what you're
yeah.
saying.
Mm.
Ethical, yes, sir. Okay.
Yeah. So also for that particular company, because they had like different range of products, and so there was also another product we had to like, learning from that, there was also another product we had to like push to the market, and that this time it was a skincare product. And so people were like, and I say this because I always found it very interesting, especially in Nigeria, that people market skincare products, and you're having people that's already people know have flawless skins. Yeah. And even in that ad, they are putting on makeup. Like you can tell this no
Yeah.
makeup has makeup on it. So I thought it was very interesting. So what we did as a way to like differentiate from the audience, especially it was even a very, it wasn't even out to the public. It was really just for existing customers that were already in like the pool. But how do we try to like convince them to like leave their existing whatever skincare products it is they're currently using
Vendors, yeah.
to solve a particular skin problem? Was there was the, especially, oh god, I could go into this because it was a very interesting situation. So what we learned was, we had customers complain that it was that the product wasn't working. And we made all these like grand, oh, the products, we do this, we do that. And then we had customers like calling. And because I always take customers' feedback very important, so we used that particular feedback. We had one customer have like this whole huge rant, even went on like Google review to like leave a bad review.
Uh-uh.
Yeah, so it was like really serious. So we had like that customer, one customer. We took that comment. I mean, obviously we spoke to the customer and all of that, but how did we ran like a whole campaign as regards that particular comment, and where we are telling our customers this is what a customer said, and this is it. The truth is, you're gonna purge when you use this product, you're gonna purge. That's the truth. So we did like, we ran whole, 4 weeks campaign where week one, this is the face of somebody, week one, the person purged, like there was like a lot of situation, and then week two it became a bit reduced, and then week three a bit sated, and then week four you could clearly see like visible results and things like that. So that's the kind of I'll say radical honesty that help
Mm,
customers. Oh, they're sold to this. These people are genuine. There's something to this. They're not trying to be perfect. There's a level of imperfection that is needed as regards interacting with your
yeah.
consumers.
Mm, I agree. I agree. As we were speaking now, the idea came to me about the influence, because we talk about influencers, talk about ads, in trying to convince the customers or users in your case, is where does the where does the founder sit in all of this? So does the voice of the founder, hold any power, or more power, in convincing the customers in purchasing the product, over ads, over influencers, over everything else?
Well, yes, the founder story is very integral in marketing a product. You want to know why the founder is doing what they're doing right now, what has led them here, and why they're here, so that you can just understand, the company values, the just get like a feel of the company itself, or maybe even in some case you can relate the founder's struggle as to what brought them here. However, I found that even me as a marketer, I try to really refrain from, you know, doing writing emails and maybe social media copies and things like that. And that's because I find that I'm often very salesy. Even when I try to be subtle about it, there's just a level of I know what I'm trying to get my customers to see and hear. So it just spills into whatever it is I'm trying to like write and put out. So I really like an objective person, and so that's where the founder bits come in. I don't like the founders to be involved in marketing because they know what they are trying to get their consumers to hear, but maybe that's not what your customer is trying to hear. So there needs to be a buffer. There needs to be, that middle ground. Your story is necessary. Your story is important as a founder. Would use it to market the brand values of the product, but it is not what would help the products get into the hands of the consumers, especially if you are not like an influential person. If you're an influential person, like let's say you're a celebrity and people you have like a cult like following, maybe your story is really going to help people. But even and that's why we often see a lot of like celebrity brands not have like they have like this great rise, but eventually things kind of like trickle down. And yeah, and you just see that maybe some are struggling a bit, and that's because it's not you cannot everything cannot be about the founder. You cannot build the entire thing on the founder. So there would be yeah. So there has to be like different ways to like I'll say to like integrate that aspect. Can the founder be an influencer for the company? Yes, but at the same time, you have to find a way to like reach the people you are trying to reach in a much more granular level. And I'll use the Rhodes. I don't know if you know Rhode, but Eli Biba's skincare product. Sorry, skincare brand, yeah. So it's you would think it is very founder led, but honestly, she's really just an influencer for the product and for the brand rather. And what people, I mean, she has come out to maybe talk about her struggles, why she started Roots, but the truth is the people that are buying that product are buying the aesthetic life, the aesthetic part of it. And that's how you integrate, you know, um, user research into like maybe founder led marketing, that kind of thing. So for instance now, okay, people like maybe the Elibiba aesthetic. Elibiba is our influencer. We can run with the aesthetic bits and then we keep going on and people just feel like and then we also integrate the own. You can use this peptide lip gloss. It helps soften your lips, blah 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 blah, like Elibibas, blah blah blah. So it just kind of like trickles into it. But having the founder, just lead marketing conversations or marketing campaigns makes it seem very dare I say, even maybe unnatural, makes it seem forced, makes um yeah, definitely trying to like sell to me. You're not trying to get me to aspire to be something. You're trying to make me buy your products. So yeah.
So you have the ads, right? The ads are also doing a job of trying to, convince the user to close,
Mhm,
on a buying decision, right?
mhm,
The influencers
mhm,
are also doing their bid, you know. Of course, there's also the integrated campaigns that we are running that are just like organic marketing, right? And then you have the
mhm,
founders that are also putting in their efforts, right? In If you're going
mhm.
to layer them in like top three, like one, two, three, how will you layer their importance in driving that, closing that deal?
I would say that
I would
running
say
ads,
that.
number one, and that's because it has a much more wider pool. You get to reach people you might not ordinarily reach. You get to, you know, you can run ads to different parts of the world, and I think that's very, very, amazing as compared to maybe influencer marketing. Influencers typically have like their core audience in like specific location, at least their community in like specific locations, or even if it's worldwide. For instance, now I'll say maybe like an Indian celebrity. Now I'll say maybe Priyanka Chopra. She has like a cult like following, but she's Indian at the end of the day. So a Westerner would not really understand what our own values and aspirations are compared to how people from our homeland would, react to she's selling a
Relate.
particular.
Yeah.
So yeah, release. So I would say digital ads number one, very important. And then number two, I would say influencer marketing because it also gives like a bit of authority in giving awareness to your products. Lucky you if your founder is also an influencer. So, that just makes everything for one. And then founders, because if you notice, do you know the founder of Dove? No, but Dove
No.
is a very worldwide used
Yeah.
product.
Good, good, good.
So,
I get it.
um,
Get it.
yeah. So I think while founders are important, they're not necessarily integral to like marketing campaigns. Like I said, they help shape brand values, the brand story, and things like that, so that people can be a bit more can find the human in the products they are using. Yeah, but I think in that scale, I think founders come third.
How do you respond to negative or mixed reviews while still leveraging on them as credibility builders?
Oh yeah, so like I said, I think negative reviews are very important. Um, and I say this because oftentimes you think, oh, you're trying to ruin our brand, but how you react to it and how you position it is what makes or breaks brands basically. You can't conversations are happening about your products either ways. So you can't always like control
Yeah.
the narrative. You can't always be you're not indifferent, you're not in everybody's phone. Do you get? So at least somebody
Mm.
might not have had like a pleasant experience with your product. And even I say this because even in the financial space, oftentimes one of the feedback or review I get from customers is that, maybe the onboarding process is a bit too long. And then there was a time we had to like um specifically put out like, why this onboarding process is long. It's really for compliance reasons, so that your money is safe, so that we trust you for legal reasons, you trust us so that your money is safe completely and you never have to like worry about it. And it just shows that, we take security on a whole other level. And that honestly, that little tweak, which we was really just like a
Yeah.
copy tweak where I think, yeah, we sent emails too, and then there was also like the copy on when you reach a particular spot, and of course we know it is long. So there was also that part of, oh, we do this for compliance reasons and this is that. And honestly, that really helped like move the needle for us as regards, getting customers like on board. So I think customers' feedback is a different type of like user research that is very integral in campaigns that is often overlooked. People see it as again, I genuinely understand because things are very fast paced and it's not easy to always want to like let me listen to customers that have negative feedback. And sometimes it's not okay to always be like, because how do you even convince your CEO that this customer said so this that about this product blah blah blah. I'm always like fighting with like the products because I'm always because at the end of the day we're trying to get people to like spend on us, spend with us,
Mm.
spend for us, that kind of thing. So we have to make the process as seamless and as smooth as possible. So if one customer has an issue, that one customer that felt like they had to like report their issue. So and
Right,
they're
right,
doing
right. It's one person.
also, yeah, they're doing it for I always this might be flawed and I don't know the numbers to this year, but one customer for me is about 50 customers. If one customer leaves a negative review, I see it as 50 customers. If one customer leaves a positive review, I see it as 50 customers. So I'm always like, oh, that one person that managed to come out and say, oh, they didn't like this experience with these products, they must have really felt it. Talk less of the other ones that were like, they just abandoned the process and were like, oh, these people are not serious.
Mm. Mm, 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 mm. Get it. Get it. I think what I'm taking away from this part is that the reviews, good or bad, are also, I mean, bad in this particular case is also a way to, there's something to take out of it, right? And it's
Mhm,
also going to
mhm,
help you improve your processes.
mhm,
Makes
mhm.
sense. Makes sense. What are some common mistakes brands make when showcasing customer feedback or case studies?
Mm, like I said, personally, I try to move away from the execution bit of marketing. And I say this because I
Mm.
know for a fact I'm not biased. Is that correct? So I know for a fact that
You're not biased about what?
oh sorry, I know for a fact that I am biased rather. So in the
Okay,
sense
okay,
that
okay, okay.
yeah, sorry. In the sense that I don't know how, but and I don't know why, but I'm always trying to sell you something. And that's just it. I don't know how or why. And I can tell, like, because I'm a marketing person, I can also tell when people are trying to like sell things to me. So even in my bid to try to like avoid that, I still in my head I'm still like I want to be able to like tell you that you should use this product so that it should change your life. This thing is going to change your life. I want to be able to like tell you that. So and I think how that reflects in like case studies and even like maybe influencer ads or maybe getting creators to like do something for the brand is you have to let the influencer or whosoever the person is just genuinely speak from their point of view. And I'll also give an example of there was one time I was trying to like I was working with a gym company and they were trying to like put out ads. Obviously, of course, we had like really polished people looking fit and toned and saying that that oh I the gym is amazing, the gym is fire, the gym is this, I can use this and that. And then we did like an A/B testing, yeah. And then there was another one of a not so great fit person talking about, oh, this is how she used to look before and this is her now. And I thought that was like that other video performed like really, really well. And so there was and as I don't know if you are noticing, but um in people really like to feel connected to a story. People do not want to feel sold to. People want to feel like you are genuine. That imperfection, and
Mm.
that is why a lot of companies are rushing to like maybe even skit makers, maybe even like TikTok influencers to help them like
Mm.
so we're looking at a very interesting point where we're no longer doing a lot of like like extraordinarily polished video ads. And then now we're looking at things that people consumers can easily consume on the go and it just like re- they retain it in their
Sticks.
memory. Yeah.
Mm.
So and I'm saying this because it's even a bit more budget friendly to do that. If you have a customer that is telling you, oh, I did this and this and this, and I got a negative result, blah, blah, blah. But when I reached out to them, oh, they helped me to do this and do that. And then I realized that's a real life case study. Not everybody is going to get your product at once. Not everybody is going to use your product like fire. This is the best things in sliced.
Yeah,
So
there'll be some natural, things
yeah,
that will go on.
so
Yeah, yeah,
there's
yeah.
the national natural hesitation, there's the wanting to, there's the relatability, there's the, just having that, feeling that okay, I'm not being sold to. Someone genuinely had a situation and they used this product and then it came out good for them. So that's why I also like to say that even as brand managers, we should always try to like extract ourselves from, you can give pointers, but writing like an entire script for like an influencer or as a case study is because like I said, you would always want to like impute your brand voice, and maybe your brand voice isn't why that person's influencer community, that influencers community likes them. The influencers community likes them for their own brand voice, not the brand voice of the company they're in. Also, as regards case study, I think that you know finding the best case studies is usually in like user research. Speak to your current customers, find out what their situations are, how they onboarded, how they found you, how they are currently using you in their day-to-day life. This helps with getting like a broader perspective as to how to write case study instead of just writing the, and I say this because I've also fallen prey when I've wanted to write case study for an engineering company I was working with, and they were just like, I was just like, oh, okay, we increased productivity by 10,000%. This, that. It just seems very polished. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah, yeah.
but speaking to customers, I found out that the end users were really the, average. I won't say average John Doe now, but like the average person in the, I'll say the average engineer in the factory, yeah, and that's the person as far back as low as the person that turns on the machine. Those are the people that understand why this product was important, why this product is good, not from the company's point perspective of, oh, we increased the company's productivity by 1,000%. It was really, oh, our procurement manager discovered this and discovered that, and this that, and this was what it led to, and blah 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 blah. There's just like a whole story and journey to it that I feel
Very
like is,
specific. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. That's a good idea, actually. That's a good way. So instead of looking at it, I mean, this is what I'm taking from this, right? Instead of looking at it from like the whole company having some kind of positive review or some kind of positive, thing to say about the product, is how does the product actually impact the individual,
Mm-hmm,
that's using the
mm-hmm,
product on the field, right?
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
Getting
mm-hmm.
really specific. Okay, to get a little bit more specific and to slowly bring this to a close, is for you, what was the last, and you can select what you want to talk about, but like what was the last thing you bought online, and walk us through that process, of how you put up the blinders, and how you knew that, "No, this is not what I want and this is what I want." Like, just walk us through that process of your last purchase, your online purchase, last online purchase.
I have a very funny story, and I've been telling everyone this story since it's happened. I got scammed on Instagram recently.
Okay. No way.
And, and it's a very embarrassing thing. Yeah, yeah. I like to tell everyone this way because I promise I had my blinders on. I was just desperate.
They were not high enough.
I had my blinders on,
Oh my
and I
god.
remember going on this. So we wanted to get a product for, not a birthday gift for my cousin, yeah, my sisters and I was
Right.
tasked with, getting the birthday gift. And so I've never been scammed on Instagram before. The people that I buy from Instagram, they always come true for me. Maybe they might
Come
not
through.
give me
Yeah, yeah.
the exact size and things like that, but maybe they might not give me the exact size and things like that, but like to give me a no show, that was my first time.
Never
So
happened.
yeah, so basically I saw this really, really pretty item and I reached out to the vendor. Again, I had my blinders on. I knew that. Let me see. I've told this story multiple times. So I knew, firstly, this person had. I checked all these things. I checked all these things. I checked the person's page. This person had about 10K followers, but their comment section was maybe one person that was
Two.
only
Mm.
liking or maybe commenting
Mm.
all the time. And I was like, and I need to check their profile
Fishy.
activity. I need to check their profile activity, and I saw that they've changed their username about 4 times. I was like, hmm. I was like,
Hmm.
hmm. Then also, I also checked the bag and checked the item rather, and then I realized that it was really too good to be true. I was like, but I still reached out. But I still reached out, and then the
Yeah.
final one, the person said, "No, you can't send a DM on WhatsApp on Instagram. You have to like chat the person on
Send
WhatsApp."
one message. Okay, okay,
So
okay, okay, okay.
what? Yeah, you have to chat the person on WhatsApp. So I was like, mm,
Yeah.
But you
I
still
checked.
went on.
I still, oh God, I still went on, and I did not even. I didn't do all of this in like a day. It took me like a whole full week because I was still looking for other vendors, yeah, but I didn't get. And the birthday was like cutting in close. So I was like, let me just try this person. So the person sent me, details or this is the amount. I paid for it. And then my messages stopped delivering. I was like, maybe it's a network problem.
No, it's not.
I
No, it's not.
was like,
It's
maybe
done.
it's a,
It's
I was
done.
like, maybe it's a network problem. I told my sisters to reach out to the person. And then the person
What?
responded. I was like, oh, that was when it dawned on me that
It's gone. Oh, yeah.
yeah. So I think, but no. But
Where was
genuinely
this?
speaking, this was June, right? Right? Yeah, it happened last month.
Very recently. Oh, wow.
Not recent.
People are still hot on
Yeah,
Instagram.
was it recent? Yeah. Come again.
I mean, this scamming thing is still very hot, of course. I mean, it's not gonna get any easier, but yeah, this is really deep.
See, see. I felt so silly. Like I felt so silly, genuinely speaking.
Yeah.
I I was like, have I just fallen prey for like good marketing or bad marketing or whatever? Like, what even is this? Because I think so it made me really analyze my entire like purchasing I'll say my the funnel that led me to sending that money was because I was actually very skeptical. And I say this because I knew that oh I wanted to like it's I knew my heart knew this person was a scam. The final thing was before I sent that money, I knew to send the money through my bank app because I know that if I send it through my bank app, I work in the bank, so I'll be able to like at least have a bit of autonomy to like say, oh, please freeze this person's account, or we need to be able to like track this person. This person just scammed me and say that. So I knew that, but I still made the purchase. So if I knew that all these different things that I highlighted, I just thought it was really interesting and how like is it desperation and then maybe the feeling of too good to be true and how people still like fall prey to like things that now I know better. I know that if you give me one single red, I'm canceling you. No stress. If you give me one single red flag, I'm never ever it's okay. It's okay if you're not in scam. I just don't want to ever feel like and that's why processes are like very important because there are flags that I'll say green flags. There are things that users just are used to, and then there are things that just raise red flags for people. So now what's going to happen is if I meet a vendor that's maybe showcases any of these traits or just gives me the slightest colored flag, I'm bouncing. And I'm not trusting that vendor. I'm also informing my family and friends not to trust that vendor. And so that's
Mm.
how it just kind of like, spills down and things like that. So yeah, your question was what was the last thing I
Mm.
purchased? That was the last thing I tried to purchase but did not purchase. Like I did purchase it, but it never got to me.
You did you did purchase, but you didn't get it. Okay. Okay. Let's do this last one. So based on that experience, right? What are 5 red flags that you would advise people to look out for before making a purchase online?
Firstly, a high following but little no engagement. I know people buy pages now, yeah, but at the very least, at the very least, at the very least, if you're maybe, and I know people like post all the time, but you should take your time to like really, really like go through the comments to just see if they have like human interaction. Because at the very least, you should have one or two customers that are asking, how much is this? Oh, I really like this. This is so fine. And then you have them like reply the person and things like that. So there's just a level of interaction that should be happening on the page at the very least. So I'll say people should count maybe like 5 or 6 interactions before you can maybe move forward to the next level. So secondly, there's also the um profile activity. A user that has changed their profile name more than twice is too much. It's too much. I don't even want to know what everybody wants to say.
Mm.
It's too much. So you should also that's also a red flag. Also, if the person is not willing to do the interaction on maybe a website or maybe through Instagram DMs, I think websites are honestly the best because for it's easier to manage others and see that at least they invested in this company, so they would not want their website to be taken down. Do you understand? But for people that
Mm.
do not for people that maybe do not really care about it, they are they'll do DMs and Instagram and things like that. And DMs are fine. I've made great purchases on DMs, but at the same time, there's a level of professionalism that comes with having like a proper website, and people trust that, oh, you've invested in this company, and this company is in it for the long run. It's not just temporary, and it just gives some level of trust. And then also, what's the last thing? Okay, you said 5. I'm not sure if I can mention 5, but for the
It
fourth
can be
one,
it can be as many as you have.
no, I actually just have 4 that I can think of right now. So for the last one, I'll say for the last one, sometimes if it's too good to be true, maybe definitely it's too good to be true. So and I know we like to have like great deals and just like great spoils and things like that, but Ah, honestly, hard work is important. If you did not steal for the money, you should be able to buy something that is worth your purchase. You should be able to buy something that you'll be proud of. So, I mean, if it's too good to be true, maybe it's too good to be true. Yeah. So I think to even like wrap all of this up, this is one of such experience that builds I'll say mistrust in like consumers and like customers, because now like I mentioned, I'm also a customer to certain people apart from me being like a brand manager and things like that. But to some people, you know, they are going to get the skeptic side of me now moving forward. So before I make a decision, I am asking around. I know to go on Twitter to check for reviews. I know to go on maybe like Instagram to check for comments or maybe reviews, or maybe if people have had such experience. I know to check on maybe TikTok. I know Twitter for sure. Sha. If anybody has had like bad experiences, I know to go on Twitter to go and check for reviews, and then maybe TikTok. And then I also know to question every part of the conversion funnel. I know to question every single thing now, from the awareness. Why is this on my page? What has happened? Am I familiar with you? Who are people that are using you? Do you have new people that are using you? Who can I hold accountable to this? Is there a face behind this brand? Who can I find in case anything has happened? So yeah,
You get into the details.
yeah, so things like that just like builds, again, well, circling back to the topic of this conversation. So some customers, or rather some
Yeah.
brands, forever gets the skeptic side of me. And some brands will forever gets the, loyal side of me where no questions asked. There's a vendor on Instagram right now that wanted to purchase something and she didn't have it. And I was like, oh, okay, don't worry. When I see something else I like, I'll just like purchase. So she has my money with her right now. So, and I think
Mm.
there's a level of trust that goes
You
into that. I
come
know
back.
that,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, I know she's not going to run away with my money. I know that she's not going to. And I think also that's why people trust physical stores or addresses like company locations and things like that, because I know that I will go to your shop. I'll go to your company. or I'll It just shows some level of
I'll
investment
find
that you've
you.
it shows some level of investment that you've done. That I know that this is not
Mm.
just a roadside venture. Not like there's anything bad with roadside ventures. But yeah,
No, no. I think just to add to everything you have said, because I also made a purchase online very recently, also on Instagram, and I think one of the things I was looking out for was videos, right? So videos of some human
listen, yeah.
like some human, right? So just someone who is actually just saying someone about the product, you know, this is where we, even if they can talk about their physical office, like this is where we are, or this is the product, just hearing from a human, person just trying to advertise the
Yeah,
product
yeah,
also
yeah. I was
reinforces my decision making process as
yeah,
well.
I was gonna mention that I saw a recently. I don't know. Okay, on this I don't know why they've been showing me, but I just recall why they've been showing me this ad. I've been talking about it. Anyways, I saw an ad. I saw an ad on Instagram where this lady was selling a tea that helps with weight loss, basically. So, but she she's been using a lot of like AI, all those like AI videos, and while I applaud it, I'm really curious, and I'm saying this because I haven't properly invested or experimented long term with AI long form videos. Yeah, so I'm really curious to see what our conversion rate is, because every time I see the ad, and she's doing an exceptional job. So she has someone like that just like is in the background, and no, is in the background, and then the background of her, there's like all this like AI. Oh, this person went from A to B, and you can tell the script is even AI. Like they're just some AI lingos, and I think it's good marketing for sure. But I can tell it's AI, and I'm sure other people can
Mm.
also tell it's AI. So it now begs to differ that
Mm.
okay, do you have like, real life people that use your products? Because you know I'm a real life person that wants to use this product. I cannot relate to whosoever this person is, and she
Yeah.
doesn't really want to like, oh, essay was 108 kg, and now essay is now, and you can just see the AI image. You know how all those chats GPT like image are, and you can just see it in the background, and then everything is just AI curated. And again, I applaud it. I'm really curious to see what the conversion rate is, but I as a user, or I as a wannabe user, yeah, I'm very skeptical about making that kind of purchase, because what does it tell me exactly? Like what's it telling me? That no human person, you do not have a human person that has used these products that I can relate to, that I can find family, yeah, or common ground with. So yeah.
Well, well, well. Thank you so much. This has been really, really nice. How do you feel about this conversation so far?
It was longer than I expected. I'm looking at the time now. I didn't expect I was going to talk
Oh
for
yeah,
this long. He's But
it was
yeah, it
nice.
was
It was
really
nice. Yeah, I had a good time
good.
though. I had a good time though.
Yeah, thank you. Anyways, it was really nice speaking to you. Thank you so much for having me. I can't wait to see this
Thank you for
come out.
coming.